to express our ideas clearly, concisely, and effectively. But what if you don't have any ideas? Or maybe your ideas are so controversial, you're afraid your members of the audience might get up and say, "You lie!" Or maybe you're just a lawyer or politician. Well, Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, never fear, because I am here through the use of euphemisms to undo years of Toastmasters training. For those of you not familiar with the term, euphemism just means substitution of words or phrases with another set of words or phrases to better suit your purposes. I will teach you how to use it to say not what you mean. Or if you do have to say what you mean, to say it in such a convoluted and confusing way that you yourself will have no idea what you just said. Some euphemisms most people are already familiar with. For example, if I say, "I'm going to the little boy's room," you don't think I'm going to go play Nintendo or something. If I say I was drinking last night, it ain't water. And if I say a lady is a working girl, she's not working 9 to 5. Well, maybe 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Other euphemisms are not so automatic. They require a lot of planning and thought. And the people who use them are magicians to me. They can turn phrases from good to evil, and more likely the vice versa. So how do you construct a euphemism? I've came up with 5 simple guidelines that can help you, and it's really easy. Rule number 1, foreign is in. If you want to sound smart and pleasant, use words that people don't understand. And the easiest place to start is with languages that people don't understand. And for some reason, and Cyril, I'm sure you're familiar with this, French is the language preferred by the bourgeois. If you throw words around like raison d'être and coup de grâce and apropos and à la carte, even monkeys can sound like Ivy Leaguers. So how do you use it? Very simple. Let's say if you want to describe somebody you don't like so much, a civilized way maybe to say, "You're a pain in the derriere." With the aid of French, you can say stuff like that song from Moulin Rouge, "Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?" without sounding too vulgar and risque. Of course, you can go with other languages too. There's tushy from the language Yiddish, and there's of course cojones from Spanish. And judging by the audience here, you can try your own languages. Rule number 2, abbreviate and you won't infuriate. Simple example, in today's economy, I'm sure everybody's heard the term RIF, reduction in force. It sounds a hell of a lot better than if you're putting a press release, Altera is conducting a mass firing today. The military actually came up with a term to describe things that's atrocious. FUBAR, I don't know if you're familiar with, F-U-B-A-R, where the B-A-R stands for beyond all recognition. And with the help of abbreviations, I can say stuff like BS and F-word all day long, and you won't think I'm too much of an SOB. Had I said all those words straight out, all of you would be marking me down for use of inappropriate language. Guideline number 3, be vague and be abstract. For example, things like you might want to say, "Oh, that situation in Chernobyl," or "the economic thing that's going on these days, making everybody homeless." See, this way you avoid using painful words, and you spare the feelings of people who aren't sophisticated enough to understand them. Actually, while I was young, the news kept talking about ethnic cleansing in Kosovo. Well, I always thought, wow, those are some clean people over there. What, they take mandatory baths or something? Anyway, guideline number 4, think positive. This is a simple rule to use. If you look at the evaluations we get at Altera, the lowest rating is not "you will be part of the next RIF." It's "need improvement." If you were caught stealing, you might want to say, "I borrowed without asking." And the Bush administration was good at this. They never tortured, they merely employed enhanced interrogations. And final one, rule number 5, longer the phrase, the better. This serves 2 purposes. One, the longer the phrase requires more thinking and gets people more confused. And second reason is that it avoids the shock, the sudden hit of this bad thing that you're talking about. For example, if I'm a defense attorney, I might want to avoid the use of the word murder. You could use arbitrary deprivation of life. And have you heard of the Somali National Volunteers Coast Guards? Well, they're actually what we call pirates. Anyway, with these techniques in mind, you too can become word magicians. Either that or salesmen. When used appropriately, euphemism can help you hide the truth from, in the words of Jacobism, people who can't handle the truth. But remember to use it carefully and sparingly, because if you dip turd in sugar too often, you might confuse it with a donut yourself and eat it. Mr. Consul.
Let's fill out the ballot for Karl.